No. Hey, stop. Stop. Shh.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Bruce. Good afternoon.
Brett.
It don't look like we got that much.
Because I don't look like I'm that much. Yeah. Yep, he's telling me the sriracha hot sauce is expired. Like, can it ever expire?
Yeah.
It's organic, so maybe, I don't know, maybe the organic stuff does, I don't know, but yeah, so we had a nice lunch. All right, so let's check where everybody is now. Let's see, are we recording? Yes. Okay, share screen. All right. Thyroid. Are we at 100? Where are we?
I'm at 100, but I'm still clearing timeline because I was doing mitochondria over the lunch.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was an interesting thing.
Yeah, that was powerful. When you say thyroid at 100%, do you mean the whole gland generally that we've just activated it with gold light?
Yeah, because we're really not bringing up the function to 100% because that's the idea of the regeneration is to get,
Yeah.
you know, so if it says that somewhere, that's not really correct. It's really just kind of flooding it with light to 100%. So,
Okay.
yeah, you're just clearing out all the dark stuff kind of thing by flooding in the light. And then, all right, sometimes this is good enough and you don't need to do regeneration. So that's the part right there. After we're done with this, flooding it with a light, do we require to go on regeneration? So then the body will say yes or no.
I'm getting a yes.
Yeah. And if your body says no, then don't participate, but yeah. Do I need it? My body says no. Yeah, I've done it. I've already, I don't need it. So, my goodness. All right, so let's go on. And here's some, so while you're completing the timeline, thyroid questions, really small. 15, oh my God. What am I afraid to declare to the world in fear of being destroyed, humiliated, or rejected? What criminal secret is in my DNA that is ready to be released? What lie have I bought into that tells me I cannot have something? And what value have I placed on being misunderstood or that I am an exception? What do I need to let go of? What value have I placed on being denied the things I desire? What will it take to create balance in my emotions? What will it take to get my unconscious mind to agree with my conscious mind so they can work together to manifest the good I have come to offer the world? Who or what do I feel is keeping me from expressing my thoughts and feelings? So it's expression, communication, speaking. So the affirmation, I can create anything I put my mind to. I am free of the past. I am allowed to experience the good things in life. I will declare to the world the message I have come to share, regardless of the outcome. So thyroid issues, they could be from people similar to us, maybe, who have been stifled. Our message has been stifled in past lives and so forth. So maybe, Lainey, do you want to tell us what issues you came across with the timeline?
I'm just clearing the dark spots. I'm not actually trying to go in and look at each of them. Should I be doing that?
If things come up, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there is definitely a lot of suppression and don't talk about it and walled off type of stuff.
Yeah. Right. And the that is the generation that many of us were born into as well. So if any of us were born in the 50s, it was the don't talk about it and it'll go away. Sweep it under the rug. We don't talk like that in this family. We don't, you know, that was the generation. It was the beaver cleaver, the everything is fine, right? So we were had no choice almost to go into the thyroid, having issues with thyroid, because we were told to stifle it, not, you know, children are to be seen and not heard.
Oh, yeah.
I got that.
I got, when I was working on it, and I've had this before, so it's a past life where I was Japanese and I was kind of trying to help people on a teeny little boat, and I went the wrong direction and we all died.
Oh.
And I was 12. So that was kind of interesting to clear that bit. Like, and when I was growing up in this lifetime, I was raised by hippies, like super duper hippies, the good and the bad and the ugly. And their parents were really revolutionaries. So then I had some other stuff that was about being revolutionaries for a really long. We never had a beaver cleaver life, nor did my mom. So then it went to, so it's interesting that when I just got on, I was kind of busy figuring that out, but some old, like almost like Russian revolutionary persecution. So not just energy workers, but just, it seemed like social justice. Anyway, that was kind of interesting.
So they
I
were
didn't know
people,
that was going to be in my thyroid.
weird. Okay. Yeah. So they were people who spoke out, but maybe got persecuted for speaking out. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back 14 life.
14, and you got stuff 14 lives ago. Yeah. Okay.
Marlene, I got, we're supposed to clear bloodline, are we? Because I was going down the timeline, but I kept getting a call to go down the bloodline. A criminal secret with my mom's father. He got they were missionaries, and he got a Bulgarian nurse pregnant and brought her here, and he institutionalized her in a mental institute because she got postpartum depression when she got here, and she couldn't speak to anybody. And yes, so much, but he sort of the criminality of that he was actually a criminal with some of the things. He was hiding behind the veneer of mission work, but he was actually doing horrible things.
Oh, and who was that in your family?
That was my mom's dad. So there's this real timeline, bloodline around expression with women, with men, and men being violent and secrets and stuff.
Yeah, bloodline was in the original clearing when we were clearing the endocrine system. But yeah, you can certainly do it separately here.
Okay, so yeah, it just felt like it must have come up again as bloodline, is it related to the thyroid with expression maybe then.
Yeah. Yeah, and DNA too with the family thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, but bloodline, yeah, that was your mother's side too. Yeah. Yep, that certainly can. Okay, so yeah, throat chakra then. This is the and did anyone know that the chakra, there's the key of G is associated with the throat chakra. Yeah, different musical keys are associated with each one. So that might be interesting, like if you could play an instrument, the key of G, and see if that, when you're doing the throat.
So one of my other healing modalities, we actually have tuning forks, and we've got one tune to every single chakra. And then you can push that frequency into the chakra and the layer, and then you can use like a crystal wand and get the key, put the tuning fork on the end, and then it'll like push it into the chakra.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah, so they actually take that into, it probably is maybe the key of G, huh? Or you're not.
So the tuning fork that you use, there's one tune to every single chakra, and then you can push it through the wand to give it more amplification.
Oh.
I can bring my set in at some point, but yeah, they're each tuned to a different chakra.
Oh, cool. So can you buy them somewhere, or is it?
Probably.
You can buy them online.
Oh, you can. Okay, I've never heard of them. Wow.
Yeah.
Chakra tuning forks.
Yeah, and they're just like musical tuning forks, but each one is
It's the frequency.
allocated to a different chakra.
Oh, okay, different frequency. Yeah, okay. Very cool. All right, I like that. Okay, so so this area with the throat is physically, if anything's out of balance, they could be, having thyroid issues, right? Or in the throat area, it's also lungs, neck, and shoulders, neck and shoulders, asthma, it's in, lungs, allergies, throat, obviously, the jaw, vocal cords, right? So it's about self-expression, being able to express, and doing so in a creative way. So, so what we do, we're doing is, virtual. We don't really have to talk to anybody too much about it, but when we are asked about what it is we do or whatever, sometimes the explaining of it, like Margot said, maybe we don't get to the right way to talk about it. Expressing what it is we do and the beauty of that, instead of being secretive about it in a way or whatever, being proud and self-expressed. And so so people can be shy, introverts, if it's underactive, overactive, then you're speaking too much and people think that you're a bad listener. So here's symptoms for thyroid: thinning hair, breaking nails, weight gain, tired, lethargic, just a slow blah, constipation, skin, depression, obesity, hair loss for sure. And then this one is associated with a lot of heart problems, high blood pressure, heart disease. It's 1 in 10 women, it says, currently diagnosed with a thyroid disorder, but many believe 1 out of 3 have undetected hypothyroidism. Actually, I'm getting it's more than that. It's more like 2 out of 3 at least. Yeah. So it's a big, big, big problem. So for clients, again, adrenals, and then thyroid is a huge client base, and almost everybody you test. So if you're out and about and people that you meet, you can test, okay, what's her thyroid, what's her adrenals, right? And it'll be interesting what you're going to be coming up with. And the heart thing, just a second. Yeah, a healthy thyroid means a healthy heart. That's what I was trying to find, because women with low levels of thyroid hormones are 2 times as likely to have a heart attack as them with normal levels. Yeah, so the hormones made in the thyroid gland affect almost every organ in the body, including the heart. So it's very interesting. And then if you're prescribed estrogen replacement with hormone therapy, then that adversely affects thyroid functioning. And synthetic hormone, thyroid replacement is a known risk factor for heart disease and osteoporosis. And then once you start it, it's difficult to stop taking it. Yeah, so it's really not your, bones just giving out, or, your heart's the problem. Well, maybe it was the, medication that they prescribed, but of course that's never it. Yeah. And then about iodine, they're saying that you put a little tincture of iodine on your inner arm. If it disappears within an hour, then you need more. Or you can test your body temperature 4 mornings in a row under your armpit. The average of the 4 readings should be between 97.8 and 98.2. And I got that information from Dr. Mark Starr. He wrote this book. I know him, I met him. Well, actually, he wrote this one too. But he wrote, heart attacks, heart failure. Over here, heart attacks, heart failure, and diabetes. Dr. Mark Starr, MD. He also wrote hypothyroidism too, and the epidemic. And he says he's got in here about diabetes, heart disease, right? So there can be a link, with all this. Well, he said there is, obviously. Now, interestingly enough, the man's not that old as his picture shows. This is what he looked like when I met him. He's here in Scottsdale. However, he's not practicing anymore. His clinic was, I'm going to say, overtaken by a bad actor. She was brought in she was an office manager. They hired an office manager, and she ran that place to the ground, almost intentionally. I would say intentionally, because she took the website down. She hid all this information. I got this from, he didn't return my call. I'm like, what's going on? I got this from a second source that told me, and now he's no longer practicing. And I get this letter that's saying that his patients are now going to be seen by another clinic or something like that. The man is basically a vegetable right now. So not to scare you or anything about it, but this was during that craze. I don't know what to call it, a craze, but when naturopaths were being killed in Florida, like you may have heard, 100 naturopathic doctors in Florida were killed. This was back in 15, maybe 5 years ago.
Why is he a vegetable? What
I don't know what happened to him. Something got to him. And I'm thinking it's foul play. Yeah, he's no longer able to care for anybody, let alone himself, actually. Yeah, but I learned a lot from this man, and he gave me these books. Yep. So I almost feel like it's got to come out. This man did so much work. I mean, this is the chapters in here. He's done a lot of study and practice. His patients were his for the research. He got all this information from years of practicing with his patients. He prescribed that desiccated thyroid, the desiccated, I don't know if it's is it from pigs or something? I'm not sure. But he did prescribe it. Yeah. Better than the synthetic, I guess. So that's what he was doing. Of course, he's, still MD, right? So was not an energy healer or anything like that. But he went way into detail about what happened. So this is no joke. It's real. And it's not being dealt with. It's not being dealt with by the conventional means. Now, I suppose it is a money maker. You know, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much they're making off thyroid medication, but in the long run, if the thyroid, you know, gives out, then they're taking women out of the picture, right? So now they're on the couch, lethargic, run down metabolism, low energy, not feeling good about themselves at all.
Are you finding, Marlene, that I don't know anyone who's recently done any kind of hormonal replacements for quite a few years now around here, like synthetic or natural? People are just like, in the last really probably 8 years, women are just not using them. Is that not true in other places? I kind of assumed that was the
Hormone replacement is huge in BC.
Bioidentical, yeah.
Yeah, there's full clinics. I went down that road and my whole hormonal system got so messed up and confused.
oh,
They're marketing highly to women and putting them on estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, thyroid. Yeah, it's really big. We have tons of clinics in BC. Functional medicine, kind of like what Lainey's talking about, but they're adding the hormone replacement into the diet.
yeah, I mean, we have the functional medicine folks here too, but they're just not doing that anymore at all.
Oh.
So it might be you know, because everyone would say, oh, but it's natural. I'm like, but what is it? And what are we messing with? And because I work with a few functional medicine docs here, they're just not really doing it anymore. Probably 7 years.
That's great. We know we're flooded with it here.
What aren't they doing?
Bioidentical.
Oh,
Bioidentical hormone.
Or any type of replacement therapy. Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know the old, you know, estrogen replace. I know that kind of dwindled, but then they all kind of went to the bioidentical.
Yeah.
And my naturopath was she put me on the bioidentical several years ago, but it was not. I didn't. No, it was like, this is not right. Okay, well then you got to go in and have it redone. It's like, how costly is this? You're going back in there all the time, getting redone. Now you got to go over to the compound pharmacy and get it refilled again.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just
like you're chasing it. It felt like control energy, like you're chasing it and you have no sense of, then your body can't function naturally. It was awful.
Yeah, I found it the same thing. And this was about the time when I met Bruce. And then they're saying, yeah, you know, rub it on your arms, but don't get near anybody. You know, men can grow boobs and all this stuff. I'm like, I can't be wearing this stuff around. I just met this guy. What am I going to tell him? You know, I'm like, I just pretty much stopped it. And I didn't really notice the difference. Yeah. No, and then never look back. But they're saying then that, oh, well, then you can still continue getting your period. I have a book from Suzanne Summers. It was the one before this one, Toxic, she has, and now she's got a new one out, a new way to age. And she's got all these physicians and so forth that are doing things, the stem cell therapy, all that's in there. But she is still saying that she's still on the bioidentical hormones and she's still getting a period. She's older than me, you know, so I know she's somewhere in her 60s or whatever, but I don't know if that's natural or if that doesn't.
Feels off, yeah.
It doesn't feel right, no. But yeah, so she's still telling people that's the thing to do. And I'm sure other people are too. But yes, I do have clients, and they quite a few of them come in and say that yes, they are on that Armor. There's what, Dia?
Well, no, yeah, Armor. I remember a few years ago, people aren't using that at all here.
They're
What the one thing they are doing that TMI, but you guys won't tell. So when my daughter was serious with her boyfriend and ready to be active sexually, it took me forever to find a diaphragm, a doctor who would give her a diaphragm and not put her on the pill. It was crazy. And that's what she is. But, yep. Because they're like, oh, the pill's great. The pill's the bomb. The pill's it. She's 16. She's almost 17. I'm like, no. And all of her friends, even if they're not even in relationships or active, they're for their acne. I'm like, oh my dear God. But only 2 doctors in DC I could get someone to, and they try to convince me no, and I'm like, this is where we're going with it. So that was shocking to, and that was, like 3 months ago.
Yeah, they're all on birth control pills and antidepressants.
Right. But the teenagers, but anyway, what's going to happen in the future there, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was shocked that just the diaphragm, it was so hard to find. And it was, didn't cost a thing. It's free.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. Doesn't cost, you don't have to keep refilling something or whatever. Yeah. So maybe that's part of it too, that there's no
Big pharma
revenue. Mm-hmm.
That I have definitely noticed with her cohort.
Ann Simmer looks like she's having Botox done. I just Googled her name.
Oh, really?
She's got the big lips.
Oh.
I'm
Maybe. She looks weird on this picture on the book cover, the new one. I just got this
Which does live in LA.
recently, but I think she looks funnier than she did before.
Yeah.
Yeah, she almost has a weird look about her that I never saw before. It didn't look like that. I mean, even compared to the book before it, Toxic, she's got, come here.
Maybe they have a natural Botox or something. I don't know.
She's only got like half a picture on this side and half a picture on this side. But as you can see here, I think that looks different from her here. Something, I don't know.
Something's changed, yeah.
Yeah, she just kind of got a weird look about her.
I'll share a little secret about myself with you guys. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I'm like Lainey, a little bit of a hybrid, and I have this whole spiritual in the closet side to me. And I've worked in medical aesthetics for years as a nurse injector, doing Botox and filler. And people get extremely dysmorphic. Like I think I feel drawn to do it to keep people within a natural, like people start to lose complete sight, and people in the industry, like they completely change. It's awful. They start augmenting their faces, and then they get dysmorphic and they can't see, or they completely get disillusioned and addicted. It's horrible. And young girls coming and sitting on a chair and wanting those big lips, and terrible.
Oh, goodness. Wow. I have real small lips. I always have. But I'm not, hell no. Stay away from me with needles. Oh, goodness. And wouldn't I look funny, though? I mean, my mouth is small, right? I mean, if I poof up my lips, it's just going to like, dang.
And that's what happens. People just do it for the money, and they don't look at someone's face like yours saying, oh, that would look ridiculous on you. And then they just make them into those trout lips or the ducky. And it's all about the money. It's awful.
Oh, great. Well, there's that. Yeah, so the things that are happening to women and in the name of vanity and beauty and aging and anti-aging, but we have those in our hands right now, in our, all of these things that we're able to do now, knowing the steps and how to do it. So the burden on women's health problems and has been just one on top of another. increasing, and the treatments are just, you know, insane, right? So so you could come about this as a like Renee, you know, how the beauty or the aging or from that angle, and I'm sure this would go over really big, and even mentioning the stem cells and so forth, the natural stem cell therapy, and being able to get the results without getting the needles and the messy creams and the medications
And getting to the source of the problem.
yeah, getting to the root cause, and then intuitively drilling deep into finding the root cause of the compromise, of why their you know, why their glands were compromised, why they have these symptoms, where it's coming from, and actually correcting the cause. Wow, people would go, okay, so you don't have to keep getting whatever it is treatment if you correct the cause, you know. But then there's no money in correction. There's money in continually having somebody have a problem, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, and emotions, speaking your truth. Thyroid and pituitary. Okay, so there's a connection between the thyroid and pituitary. We're going to get to that tomorrow. And then just different ways to boost your thyroid. So this is all here. Glutathione, this is something, there's a little gauge here. That's something that you can actually increase or improve glutathione in the body. We produce it, body does. And then let's look for, thyroid collar, huh?
What was that slide that said thyroid and heat?
Heat. Was there one?
Yes.
Before I went to, no.
There's definitely a connection,
More back.
whether you have hypo or hyperthyroidism.
Yeah, and they're saying that that's autoimmune, but our immune system does not attack us. I don't see one for heat.
Yeah, it was. It didn't say anything else about it. It just said thyroid and the heat and had a picture. 'Cause it
Really?
grabbed my attention. Yeah.
If you, Marlene, if you do a Control F, that'll bring up the find window. and you can
Okay.
look for heat.
Control F.
Oh, you're not, wait, you're on
No.
a Mac though.
Yes, and I'm on a screen share, so I don't know if that makes a
Okay, yeah, I don't know what it is on Mac. There is a way to do a find though.
Okay, up here, search. Okay, so heat.
There you go.
Couldn't find anything for heat. So there was no,
Towards the beginning.
oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the ones you kind of skip through.
Oh, heart?
Oh, it's heart. Okay, never mind. I read it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
There it is.
No, I'm in Arizona. What do you mean heat?
I was like, what? It went by really fast. It was,
It looks like heat.
Yeah. And by the way, it's starting to get hot. Like
uh,
80 degrees or whatever.
Shush.
No, shush. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I'm in a south-facing office, and this is just like, oh my God, I've got the fan on. I'm starting to warm up in this room. Okay, and address adrenal fatigue. So there is a connection, like we were saying, between the thyroid and adrenals. And if you have a hypothyroidism, you know, more likely you have adrenal fatigue too. So absolutely, you can't dress one without the other. Yeah, stressors. And this thyroid collar, so I don't know if everyone knows that when you go to the doctor, to make sure you pull that thing all the way up here, you know, for radiation purposes. Okay, so should say master. Okay, I should do, oh, you know what, when I did a Control F, I got a little box that pops up. It says find what. I'm supposed to type it in there, and then I could replace something with it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, you can either find or find and replace.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and we've already sent the gold energy into the thyroid. So now we can make sure that we're connected with the divine. Again, we're now going to secure the master cell to source and to earth. And then we're going to start in by sending the gold healing energy into the membrane and the nucleus. There we go. Oh, did you get your before number? Write down your before thyroid. And if you're complete with these, then go into DNA, the DNA strand, unravel it and look at the black spots. Count the number and clear them. And if you're complete with DNA, then you're going into lighting up the cell. So sending the gold energy into all areas of the master cell. Getting it all lit up before the mirroring.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Oh, if you're complete with the DNA, so you've got all the black spots off from the DNA and you're sending the gold healing through the strand, then you just send in beautiful healing gold energy into the whole master cell, all areas. Getting it all lit up and ready to start the mirroring. Okay. Okay, are we complete?
Almost.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you are, then just go ahead and activate the mitochondria and create that flood of new cells to all cells of the thyroid. So sending beautiful healing energy into all cells of the thyroid as they take the upgrade from the master cell.
So I got through the DNA. When I lit it up, there's a dark spot that apparently is not DNA. So I'm just going after the dark spot.
Okay. Yeah, interesting too. Yeah, so if you're in the master cell and you see something that's just not brilliantly bright, yeah, go in and back and address it.
Marlene, can I ask a question about something I experienced? Because I don't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I got this really weird thing around my thyroid and I can't explain, but it feels like my body starts to expand and I feel like it's around weight issues. Like it feels like either it's a fear of gaining weight or a fear of releasing the weight or something, but it's connected to my thyroid. And it's like, so I felt this sort of pressure. It's like a bloating almost in my midsection.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, but I don't know what it is. So I don't know what to do with it or how to release it. Can you tell what that is? Like,
well, it is metabolism, thyroid. So it's, yeah, so it's very uniquely tied to that.
but can like blocks illuminate or something while you're trying to clear?
Ask it to, yeah, ask it. Mm-hmm. And then just send some healing energy. If you can't identify it, send healing energy into it. And then just intend that that's going to
Clear?
decrease, you know, yeah. So the bloating is decreasing, 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 going, disappearing, disappearing, you know, seeing it go.
Yeah, it's almost like telling it doesn't need to do that anymore. It's coming to mind. Like
Yeah, it's like a protection.
it's a protection. Yeah, it's like pushing out.
Yeah. Yeah, like get away, huh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, don't get too close. You could get hurt. Yeah.
If you get healed, then people will come in. So I could clear that later
Sure. Yeah. Mhm.
in DNA and timelines and stuff.
Absolutely. Yes. Yep.
Ooh, it's big.
More gold energy into the master cell too to enhance the process. So just continue sending energy into the whole thyroid and then go ahead and check for the number of days. Generally, you'll see the most improvement within the first 30 days. However, it could take up to 90 for the thyroid. And depending on where you start, the percentage will kind of determine where this is going to end up, because the thyroid, I see this common with mostly all of the people I work with. If it's under, I don't know, maybe 50%, generally it might require a second round because it's a real dense organ. It just takes longer, it seems, or typically it has in the past. I don't want to put that out there. Maybe it's speeding up now. Okay, so improvements you can notice. This is again around energy. Also hair and skin, same as adrenals, better digestion, reduce swelling and weight. So actually just doing the adrenal or just doing the thyroid can reduce the swelling and weight without concentrating on it specifically, but would definitely be better if weight is an issue to work in weight. And then the pancreas is another one to work in there too. Improve memory, less anxiety and depression, body temperature, muscle weakness, joint pain, risk of diseases, and slower aging. So the pancreas is next. Here are the clearings for it, if you're ready. Go ahead and clear the pancreas to 100%. So just be sending in the gold energy into the whole pancreas. And that's right here in front. if you need a biopsy, right here in front, the pancreas.
Okay. I should
Yeah.
have my
Oh, you probably can't see it, but yeah, it's right here in front of us. Yeah. It's a big, huge.
Yeah. What side's the liver on?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
On the left.
Mhm. Yeah, so it might help to go in and just get a whole biology, you know, just get a chart of where everything's located and seeing what they look like and where they're located. the hormones they produce. I've got mostly a lot of this information here on the chart, so you can refer to this here too. It's in behind the stomach, and it's by the spleen there. And behind the liver, gallbladder. So continue pumping gold in there. We can go over the pancreas questions. Let's blow it up a little bit. And what will it take for me to understand and receive real love? What does it feel like to see beyond my stories of the past? What will it take to develop the skills to predict hope instead of dread? What will it take to remove my focus from off myself and start noticing the abundant life surrounding me? What has my soul come to contribute to the world? What will it take to start creating a more joyful, exciting, and purposeful life? What will it take to train my mind to see beyond judgment and consider the positive possibilities? So we can do an affirmation. I allow my mind to travel to new possibilities. I allow love to flow in, around, and through me. I accept all the beauty around me and make it part of my being. Yeah, accepting, receiving maybe, huh? Yeah, receiving real love. I think that's key, is receiving. So here we are, pancreas. Okay, so it produces hormones that control your body's production of insulin, as well as the blood sugar levels. And it does have a lot to do with weight. And here are a lot of symptoms. Constant fatigue, increased appetite, brain fogginess. It can also be the belly fat, abdominal obesity. Here, mood swings, cravings, high blood pressure, sugar cravings, always feeling hungry, unable to lose weight, fatigue after meals, aches and pains all over, problems with concentration, high cholesterol, low good cholesterol, high triglycerides, and high glucose. So those could be symptoms. And are you insulin resistant? I have a chart on insulin resistance, or I'm not sure if it's a chart, but I'm going to pull it up here and I'll send it to you. Where did I keep it? I just saw it yesterday, so it can't be far. Insulin resistance, here it is. Okay, well, it's there. All right, put it in an email and send it. Oh, here. And if you're done sending energy, okay, I just sent it. It's about insulin resistance. It's what's called. And causes there would include excess weight or obesity, stress, inactivity, steroid use, certain medications, older age, smoking, problems with sleep. So that would be insulin resistance. Just one night of sleep deprivation boosted insulin resistance as much as eating high-fat foods for 6 months. Oh! Wow, so get sleep. Adrenals, pituitary, or pineal. Avoid sugar. Yeah, obvious reasons there. Sugar sensitivity and addiction. Clearing to reset the urge. Okay, so we can do a oh, I had an MP3. Addiction clearing. Okay. Jamie is the one who's at the virtual funeral today. She's specializing in addictions now. Well, she's done some work in it, but she's going to be our resident expert on that. So we're going to be doing an addiction program. She wants me to help her to set that up. So there is a protocol for addictions, and we can probably send that to you too on the email. So I'm going to put that here in my notes. Sugar sensitivity. And addiction clearing. All right. And then here, again with the caffeine. So these people usually crave sweets too and crash many times throughout the day, especially in the afternoon. They need a pick-me-up such as another cup of coffee or something sweet. So that further drives the blood sugar and hormone imbalances, leading to weight gain, insomnia, fatigue, and an underactive thyroid gland. So people usually fall asleep without problems, but they'll wake up during the night because they have inadequate cortisol production to stabilize the blood sugar. So that's what I'm saying. If they wake up in the night, that's adrenals. So the adrenals release adrenaline instead, which raises blood sugar, but it's also too stimulatory, and that's what results in the waking up and insomnia, maybe not being able to get back to sleep. So how to stabilize blood sugar. There's some suggestions here. Look for hidden sugars, obviously, not the fake stuff. Improving insulin sensitivity, avoiding stress, getting more sleep, exercise, eat more fiber, vegetables, fruits, herbs, spices, cinnamon, green tea, carbs, avoiding trans fats, adding supplements. And then here is letting go of the diabetes gene. So let's go ahead and find the diabetes gene. And just intend that the gene for diabetes, if you have one, not everyone does. So first check to see, do I have a diabetes gene? And I don't, because I've already done this before. So it would be if you do. Do we have people here that get a yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and see that. And then you're going to unravel the DNA strand there and see black spots on there. So anything that indicates diabetes, you could even say insulin resistance, anything like that too, pancreas issues. But here for this is the diabetes. Anything, first of all, we're looking at DNA for propensity to have diabetes or insulin resistance or blood sugar issues. So I know we did the pancreas, or we will be doing that with the master cell, but for this instance, we can just do it now. and at the same time, just doing this to let go of the diabetes gene. So intending that that's going. But let's look at the DNA at the same time. Anything that would cause diabetes.
Can we clear the sugar cravings here, or is that a different thing?
That's in a, well, you can, if you're in DNA, sure. Mhm. Yep. Gonna turn this fan up a little more.
Is there a reason some black spots are more stubborn than others?
Yeah, there are.
What's that usually?
Um, you know, it's, you might want to check timelines.
Yeah, I'm getting it's time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the DNA, but it's deeper.
Yeah, so there's something more it's telling
Yeah.
you. Mhm. So you go ahead and do timelines too while we're at it. So wherever you are with the diabetes. I was helping everyone with the diabetes gene, so 90 maybe percent.
I just got that there was starvation 6 lifetimes ago.
Interesting. Yep. I had one of those lifetimes too.
Oh, yeah, just by seeing it, it's like it's neutralized. It's weird.
Yeah. Okay, great. And that can be causing the bloating and the weight, you know.
Yeah.
I want to hold on to, you know, so you don't starve, right?
Yeah.
I want to show you a picture. And I want to see if anybody, and don't laugh at the haircut, okay? This is, I'm not sure exactly how old I was here, but pretty young, maybe 10, I don't know. But this is a picture of me, my mother, my sister, and my grandma. We were visiting her in a nursing home at the time. But look at my stomach. I mean, you can see I was obviously a thin person,
I can't.
but what's with my stomach?
Are you sharing it?
Do you see it?
No. Can you
Does
guys-
anyone else see it? Does anyone see that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's,
see it, but it's very,
Oh,
I
it's
see it,
pretty.
but I can't see any. I don't know. I can see the picture, but I don't know what you're referring to by your stomach.
just
Oh, okay.
to what you're
Yeah,
referring.
let me stop sharing and see if
there.
it's bigger. Is that bigger?
yeah.
I'm the one with the little green striped shirt and the green shorts.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Look at the size of my stomach. What was going on there? Is anyone getting a read on it?
Yeah, same protection.
Looks like I'm just bloated, right? Like, and I have had that issue throughout life too. So yeah, Margot, there was a start.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
And
Also
also
the-
filling
the-
yourself up with some.
Excuse me?
I also get filling yourself up with something.
Filling myself up with something.
Yeah, wanting to fill yourself up with something because you didn't have what you really wanted and needed, so you were filling up there.
Yeah, big time.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know, it was interesting when I was doing the timelines, that there were in different lifetimes, there were actually, and I've had that in this time as well, different issues around weight at different ages. So it was taking me longer because I was doing like, in timelines, there were like 5 or 6 different ages where it was an issue, and then it wasn't an issue, where it was an issue, where it was an issue.
Yeah, I was the same.
Oh. Uh-huh.
So just not one age. Before when I did timeline, it was just I was only looking for or only found one age, but this is a little different.
I found
Next time
7.
I better look for more than one age.
Ooh, 7 different lifetimes, Jen?
No, 7 ages.
Oh, 7 different ages.
Yeah,
Huh.
So how do you do that?
I just had like, I saw like on one it was like 6, so I saw 6 little dots and I just did them all together on a timeline. Do you see what I'm saying? Like every dot on one lifetime was an age where it came up. So I had like a cluster and then I wiped the cluster clean.
Okay. Yeah, so several several ages within that lifetime. Yeah, very good. You can look at it that way. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and out of the 4, you know, that I had, I checked back to see, I had age 24 show up 75% of the time. So I'm trying to think back of what I was doing at age 24, but this time, but yeah, and probably true, filling up on something I wasn't getting at age 24 was probably a truism. Renee, thanks for that. But yeah, that seems true. Interesting. Okay, so where are we here with the IBs? Okay. Okay. Clear there. If we want to work in the cancer gene at the same time, we can. I can be working on that when we go into doing the pancreas regeneration. So if we do cancer gene, let's check and see if you have one. And
Are we saying just for the pancreatic cancer? Or?
no, we're gonna just say cancer gene all around, just the, yeah. And if you have one, yeah, Dia,
I do.
Renee, anyone else?
I don't get that I do.
No, okay, yeah, because I was only getting small percentage here, so that's great. All right, Dia and Renee. Dia and Renee, okay. And we'll do Janie too. 3. Okay, so I'll be working on that, and you guys can work on it too. And then you also do.
How do we do it? Because I've got clients who have it.
We're just doing this, okay, and intending that you can see it pop it up. Okay, show me the cancer gene, and now, okay, so now we're going to clear it like it's a black dot. Okay, because it is. It's like a black dot on your on the person's field. So just clear it down to nothing.
Oh, I got it.
It's on their field.
Well, no, it's in their physicality. It's in them. But sorry about that. But you want to clear it down to 0.
Where do you see it?
Just in your mind's eye. You're just asking it. Show me the cancer gene. And then it will come forward you as a black, you know, show it to me as a, and see it as a black dot or a circle or a something. Blob.
I'm finding it helpful to see a vortex underneath it and letting it suck it out.
Ooh. There you go. You can do that.
So because this issue makes me anxious, can I just step back and we're doing the same thing we would do with say as the timeline?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, we wash it and then we do golden light. Yes?
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, it makes me anxious, so I kind of got a little stumbled.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, so clear it down to 0, and then you're gonna do the timeline. And then you can also do DNA for previous, you know, how many programs do you have for, you know, having the propensity to have a, you know, cancer.
But when you say clear it down to 0, so I saw this big kind of funny blobby black thing.
Yeah.
You mean you want me down to 0 minus infinity? Like, do you want me to
shrink it like down to nothing?
Okay, to nothing. Okay, I didn't know if there was a number scaling thing I didn't understand.
Oh, no, just shrink it to nothing. See it just disappearing.
Right. Sorry, thank you.
No, that's okay. Yeah, and there's other ways to look at it too. I mean, you know, that's just one that I know works. The vortex under it, that could work too. just doing this, actually, just intending that you're clearing it, you can do this while you're driving or doing other stuff, right? So you don't have to always continually be thinking about it or, you know, seeing it or, you know, concentrating on it. Okay. And then, yeah, the timeline. Or any time that you've had cancer in a different lifetime, past life. And if you're not working on that, then you can go ahead and start in with sending, securing the master cell. Let's see. This part here.
Okay, another pesky question.
Yep.
So I'm a little surprised, and I know nothing, but I'm a little surprised that we can't find a master cell already perfect and bring it in rather than, I'm just curious about that. When you first learned this, Marlene, like, was that a little surprising to you that you couldn't kind of bring in a master cell that was perfect rather than making one that's perfect?
Well, we want our own cells, though, I guess. Yeah, I mean, essentially what we are doing is we are matching the perfection of the master blueprint, right? Yeah, but we are bringing in that perfection, but we're bringing it into our own cells, into our own body, and into our own membrane, nucleus, and so forth. So in a sense, we're doing that. Yeah.
Are we securing the master cell in the pancreas now?
Yes, pancreas, right. Mm-hmm. And make sure you get a before reading on the pancreas. And if you haven't already done the DNA, go into that afterwards. DNA strand. This is the DNA organelle in this part here, in one of these bullet points, and that's like information located actually in the nucleus of the cell as an organelle.
Now, the DNA in here is referring to, rolling it out and clearing the dark spots, correct?
This one is, yeah. Yeah, this is just sending in the gold into that organelle.
Everywhere it says DNA underneath that, does that mean the DNA in the cell?
This is the DNA in the organ. It's a DNA organelle, which is located in the nucleus, in the center of the cell. So it's an area similar to the, mitochondria. It's in there. And it does give information for the operation of the nucleus to direct the cell. But this is the actual strand where you're going to see faulty programs and so forth. And the body knows what you're referring to.
Do you get a before and after number for that group, the membrane, nucleus, et cetera?
You can, yeah, absolutely. And that's where you can see what's the color of it, what does it look like right now, and what's the percentage of function. You don't have to, but you certainly can. You can intend it. So that's why we're intending it to bring it all up to 100% in each area. So you could say, is my membrane up to 100%, 80, 90, whatever. Does it have a nice color? Yeah.
Start to clear the DNA, it always sounds like just like really pretty burp. Ooh.
I had someone say that they imagined the DNA strand like it was a slide, like they're at the top of the slide, and then they would just ride it down, and when they fell off the end, they were done. And if you are done with DNA, then go ahead and just light up everything in the master cell, light the whole master cell up. Now let's remember too that we need to do the reset on DNA. And it's okay if you haven't done it, because it's like when you go to bed, like, right? So when you go to bed tonight, like the DNA, you don't want it resetting itself overnight back to where it was. So you just want to intend that upon awakening, the new and the current and active DNA is in place.
Should we be doing the family bubble too?
Yes. Very good, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. When you're doing this one, do the family bubble. Should write that on here too. And if you have somebody else's DNA in your tissue or transfusion, remember to do that DNA of other.
What are you saying? I'm not clear what you're saying.
Oh, if you have a transfusion, blood transfusion, or a tissue that you,
Oh, yeah.
organ transplant, you have to do the DNA of the other as well. Okay, and if you're all lit up and ready to go, 98, 99, 100, then activate the mitochondria, create a flood of new cell growth to all cells of the pancreas, taking the upgrade right now from the master cell. So sending in beautiful gold energy into all cells of the pancreas to enhance the process here. And just continue. So just doing this is fine. And when you get to 100%, then read the number of days.
Marlene, do you have like a, you say like a, I appreciate all the paperwork that we've received, but like a mini cheat sheet when seems pretty kind of structured.
For the regeneration process?
Like just of, no matter what the gland is, these are the 9 steps.
It is pretty much on the document, on the Word document.
Okay, maybe I just don't.
I copied it in there. Yeah, for each section I did the same thing. I put it in there. So it just starts out with clear the, connect with the divine, identify the area, secure the master. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. And it's the same, yeah, with each one.
Okay. Just because I forgot the family bubble thing, and then I was like,
oh yeah, and where does it say? Does it say that on here?
I can go back and redo it.
Yeah, and if it says liver, I'm sorry, it's because I kept copying, pasting that in everywhere. So sorry, change that to pancreas. Faulty DNA programs for the pancreas and family bubble, yeah. And then I should put on here resets and DNA of others. Okay, so we can continue to continue to add the energy in there. Count the number of days for regrowth. And then we'll move on. So you can continue on. So improvements from a functioning pancreas, less appetite and hunger, reduced sugar cravings, weight loss, better regulation of the blood pressure, balanced emotions, mood, behavior, increased energy, better memory, less aches and pains, decreased belly fat, improved concentration, and lowered cholesterol. So, you know, each one of these bullet points could be, you can check your DNA for each individual thing, like, you know, high cholesterol or, you know, blood pressure, that kind of stuff. You could do that too. In particular, like, you know, you have an issue with it. And then we can move into the thymus. This is the area right here in the heart chakra, the thymus. So just sending beautiful energy into the whole thymus right now. You want to clear out the darkness. So just start in with that process. Now, thymus is part of the immune system. So I have a slide here for the immune system questions and then one for the thymus itself questions. So I'll let you read the immune if you want yourself on the slides. But thymus is, what value have I placed on feeling persecuted? What will it take to stop feeling like people are against me? What value have I placed on feeling like I deserve life to be hard? And what will it take to replace that thought with something more productive and hopeful? What will it take to stop feeling like it is always my fault? And what criminal act in my DNA is affecting me today? And what will it take to clear this genetic energy? So the affirmation is, life is flowing easily for me. I am safe to create and express myself. I am free of the past. I give myself permission to create an exciting future. So the past seems like it's in here, doesn't it? So I would check for DNA for criminal activity if you haven't already.
So Marlene, I get a no for DNA, but then it showed up in timeline. So with my mom's dad. So those are quite different, right?
That he had criminal activity? Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
But it's not in my DNA, it's in the timeline.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Then clear it on the timeline and then it's not in the DNA, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. But they not necessarily, if it's in the timeline, it's not necessarily in your DNA then.
Yeah, you would think it would be, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
But it affected you because it's coming up as a timeline issue. So it affected you there, but not necessarily in the genes. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. And if you're doing timelines right now, I just lost it. Yeah, but oh, ask for not just thymus gland problems or whatever, but ask for problems with the immune system. Any issues that you've had that left an impact that had to do with the immune system or thymus.
Is this in just timeline or in general?
Yeah, because it is part of the immune system. So if it was part of a bigger problem.
Are you asking if there's issues based in the timeline or just generally?
Oh, yes, timeline. It can be for DNA too, yeah.
Could you do this same process?
Looks like you muted yourself, Jen. I'm not able to unmute you for some reason. No, I can't do it, I guess. And you're continuing to send beautiful healing gold energy into the thymus, the whole gland.
I'm back.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry. Could you do this whole process with the sinuses?
Certainly. Absolutely. That's it doesn't have to be a gland or a organ. It can be an area. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And chart it all out. Chart a whole reading on it. So whatever the issue is, find out. Is it curses? Is there, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Good question.
Are we still, we're just priming the thymus gland by clearing, making sure chakras and we're all balanced and clearing attachments and stuff?
Yep, that's where you're at. Yep, and then doing your timeline and doing DNA.
Okay.
Yep. And while you're doing that, I can move on. Stress, the thymus is 95% Stress is a contributor of all disease, right? Yeah. So when you're experiencing stress, the body releases hormones that cause your thymus gland to shrink. So this is the reason that it's down to just a little piece of tissue now for most adults. And since the thymus gland helps to maintain a strong immune system, as it shrinks, your immunity is lessened, increasing your risk of infection. So you can see why people who get older have more issues. That's why. So causes of stress, well, we know, and lack of sleep is a major source of stress because your body's natural killer cells, which are made in the thymus, can be impaired, making it easier for invaded viruses to escape being attacked and destroyed. So we know that when your body is out of balance, energy doesn't flow, blockages, and eventually disease. So here's the thymus cartoon. And it's, yeah, here, the thymus gland is only fully developed in children. From adolescence onward, it slowly turns into fat tissue because what we just learned, because of stress. So behind the breastbone, above the heart. So the T cells, killer T cells are made here, responsible for coordinating the innate and adaptive immune system. So the T in killer T cell is lymphocytes for the thymus, so the place where they mature. T cells move through the body and constantly watch the surfaces of all cells for changes. So they learn in the thymus which structures on cell surfaces are self and which are non-self. So no way does our immune system attack itself. There's no way. That is bunk. It knows self from non-self. It does not get confused. Thymus gland and T killer cells. So we just talked about that, I guess. But there is two hormones here, thymosin and thymopeptin, which regulate the maturation of defense cells in the lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are part of the immune system. So issues, symptoms around a compromised thymus, cold hands, bathroom problems. Now this can be thymus and the immune system itself. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean just the thymus, but around the immune, since that's the job of the thymus, that can also be the lymph system, can be tonsils, adenoids, appendix, blood cells, bone marrow, the spleen, gallbladder, and it's white blood cells. Dry eyes, fatigue, mild fever, headaches, rash, joints ache, patchy hair loss, repeated infections sensitive to the sun, tingling or numbness in the hands and feet, trouble swallowing, unexplained weight change, white patches, yellowing of the skin or eyes, jaundice, and then of course things that you can do here, and there's a whole list of them. So I'm just gonna buzz through here. Okay. And then here's some things, around a compromised immune system. If people are getting sick a lot, you could ask, am I doing everything I can to keep my life balanced? Am I eating well, getting exercise, taking vitamins, spending time with loved ones, helping others? Am I living a life of moderation and balance? Am I drinking too much alcohol, too many sodas? Can I give up the second and third cup of coffee? Am I eating plenty of fresh vegetables? Am I avoiding toxins indoors and out? Can I give up that donut I had for breakfast? Do I need to spend more time taking care of myself instead of worrying about the health of my loved ones? Can I reduce the stress in my life, or would I feel better if I had a heart-to-heart talk with my husband? So these are things that people can do themselves. Okay, so if you're ready, if you've got 100%, you read 100% clear for the thymus, sending gold energy into the thymus. Now you can start into securing the master cell, bringing that beautiful energy into it. And then again, it's the membrane first. I'm gonna get the other.
What do you call what we're doing?
Quantum regeneration. Can be quantum cellular regeneration.
So of the glands and organs, anything else?
It can be regeneration of any part of the body. So it could be your toe, you know, I mean, right, whatever, if you've damaged something, fingers, whatever. And then it can be whole systems, the digestive system, and going into all the parts and pieces.
So this is what I want to focus on.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and for you with allergies, that could definitely be, yeah, sinuses, respiratory, lungs. Mm-hmm.
Could you regenerate like a microbiome with this? Because it's not exactly your cells, it's other cells.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's like a pull, you'd have to pull in the good gut bacteria for that individual because we're all supposedly different.
Yeah, so you're taking in like good bacteria, right?
Or maybe,
But you've already got the good bacteria, even if they're just compromised. So then you can just intend that you're increasing that, you know, to the right optimal proportion.
yeah, I'm thinking like if someone has to go in and do like antibiotics and you want to help them regenerate their good gut bacteria.
Mm.
And then there's the whole thing about the Firmicutes versus the Bacteroides. I don't know if I'm pronouncing those right, but the whole, how that impacts our weight by having the wrong balance of the two.
Oh, sure.
What were the words you said?
So I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right, Firmicutes and Bacteroides, but they've done studies where they say that, you know, I can't remember which ones are the bad ones, but you need them both. But if you have too much of one, you're likely to be more overweight. And so it's getting that balance. And like they've even looked at like if you aren't eating enough fresh vegetables, then the wrong type will overgrow because you've got to feed them and support them. I don't know, but I mean that's a thing that I hear talked about when I hear like the microbiome summits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I see a lady, I've got her book here. It's about, she does the reflorestation
Oh, okay.
and the irrigation. So I do that once a year. And then she actually has a whatever she's perfected whatever is in that little balloon or whatever that thing is that she reflores, you know, she puts it up the rectum and so forth. And and she's been doing it like 20, 30 years. So I guess she's got down whatever it is. I do have a list of the things she told me were all the different bacterias. I could send that to you.
Huh.
I'd be really interested in that. So what does she do?
She is I don't know what you call her, colon
hydrotherapist.
hydrotherapist. Yep, there it is. Yeah.
And what does she insert?
Oh, at the end, after she does the irrigation, so she irrigates out the colon and everything and cleans everything out. Then at the end, she reflores with the good bacteria.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Puts it back in. So it's recommended for people who have taken antibiotics.
But it's like a probiotic. At least ours is. It's like a probiotic, and she puts it in.
Yeah.
The
Uh-huh.
It's just a really condensed probiotic.
It is. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Yeah. So I'll send the list of bacteria and what she recommends. It's a whole, I typed this out after I saw her in, I don't know what it was, July or August or whatever. So I typed out everything she told me, and I got the recommendation for something aloe leaf if you have constipation, and a couple other things she told me, but and also magnesium. She told me take 2 magnesium. Every woman should be taking 2 of them at night.
That's true.
Is that true? Okay. Yeah.
And if you have a lot of stress, it's 2 in the morning as well.
Okay.
Because stress uses up our magnesium and our body doesn't produce it. So we need to replenish it.
Oh, that's cool.
Either with supplements or with food. But it's hard if you really get depleted, if you've gone through a stressful time, then it's hard to get it from your food sufficiently.
Okay. Yeah, magnesium is huge with all the stuff it's good for. It regulates muscle function, yeah, but that includes the heart muscle. Regulates blood pressure, production of cholesterol. But yeah, there's so many other things like can make you gain weight. I don't know.
If you have any spasms in the body, any cramps, that's a sign of low magnesium.
Okay, yep. Abdominal fat. Magnesium can help reduce abdominal fat. It says over half of the insulin in the bloodstream is sent to the abdomen. So again, getting enough daily magnesium can help your keep your middle trim. Interesting. Yeah, there's so much more about magnesium. It's incredible.
And you'll know if you've taken too much because it will give you a loose stool.
Oh, okay.
So that's how you know.
That's how you know. I wasn't that stressed.
I had postpartum preeclampsia with my daughter, and they actually put me, when she was in the NICU, but they put me on a magnesium drip in hospital for, I think it was 48 hours. And it was amazing. It was like a double vision. I felt like I kept saying I felt like a snake that had been run over in the road. Like I had no muscle tone. Like I felt totally flat.
Oh.
It was quite an interesting experience.
And that was a lot of magnesium, you said?
Yeah, it was because it was a mag drip in hospital.
Oh.
Because my blood pressure, I've seen weird things in my eyes, and my blood pressure was like 170 over something.
Oh.
And headaches and stuff. So it was after her birth.
Oh.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
So when you say you felt flat, what do you mean flat?
like, you know how magnesium smooths out the muscles? Like, I just felt like I couldn't lift up my arm
Oh,
because it was super powerful amount, I'm sure. You know how they like to overdo in the hospital?
wow.
Yeah, it was wild. Not fun. But then the minute they took me off the drip, I felt fine.
Oh.
Like right away. I was
Oh.
like, yeah, it didn't. It was interesting. So we're a big magnesium family here since within reason.
Yep, so many people are low on magnesium. Yep. Okay, so where are you with the membrane into the nucleus, absorption organelle, elimination organelle, DNA organelle, and the mitochondria? Pretty close. And then go into unraveling the DNA strand, looking at that. Any faulty programs around the thymus or immune issues. If you haven't already done it, maybe you already did.
Can you remind me what the family bubble is again, please?
Yeah, you just ask for it. Just say, show me the family bubble, and it will appear. And then you see dark spots in there, if there is any. Count them and then clear them.
I always get a message from the family bubble.
Oh, fun! Oh, nice. How you doing? Okay, let's check here.
And the resets are the request for the evening, right? Sleep
Yeah,
time.
so upon awakening, this is the active and current version.
Mhm. And what's DNA others?
Others is if you had a transplant,
Oh, right.
transfusion.
Sorry, I forgot. Sorry.
Okay, and when you're done with that, then go ahead and just pump all the energy, all the gold you can into the whole thymus. And into the master cell. So we're making sure that the master cell is totally lit up, totally clear, totally clean. And when it is, then you activate the mitochondria, create a flood of new cell growth to all cells of the thymus so that they can take the upgrade from the master cell and just continue to send healing gold energy into the whole thymus. And your intent here is to actually bring the thymus back online. So if it's a little piece of tissue right now, see it plumping up, see it coming back into the gland that it used to be when you were a child. When it used to work and, you know, make all those T cells. And I mean, thankfully the bone marrow makes them too, you know, but
So even if the child had a lot of trauma and abuse, are you still saying that it still was healthy even if the abuse was very early on?
yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
not affected by stress early on.
Correct. Yes. And also check for faulty DNA programs there around the shrinkage issue, causing it to shrink, because you don't want it to go back to shrink again, right? So DNA for shrinking thymus. And then count the number of days. And I'm going to get moving on here because we do have two more glands. So write the number of days. You can still continue to amp up the whole gland. And we'll move into the parathyroid. So this is
Marty, one of the
yeah.
things we're forgetting to do is pump up the chemistry, the last.
Oh, yeah. It's on your sheet.
Yeah.
But it's not on the slides. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, chemistry for pancreas. Yes, absolutely. Insulin.
Yeah. And what's the thymus then? Is you said those two, thymosin and the other one?
What was the question? Thymus and what?
For thymus, the hormones are thymosin and something else?
Oh, yeah. Let me go back. Did you get the ones for pancreas? Pancreas or gastrin?
Oh yeah, okay, gastrin, yeah.
Gastrin is there too, yeah.
And insulin?
Primary, yeah. Yeah, pancreas, insulin. Here, I'm gonna put this.
Marlene, where does leptin come in? I'm hearing a lot about leptin resistance as well as insulin resistance.
Yeah, that's here too.
Would that be in the pancreas? Like where does leptin?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, that's pancreatic hormones right there. That's also on your Word doc too, by the way.
Can you just put that back up?
Yeah. Here, I'm going to, it's in the chat box. Let's check here. Let's go back to Thymus.
I got it here.
Okay. Yeah, it's on your Word doc. Your pancreas, yeah. Thymus.
Leptin.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let's see, hormones. Thymus hormones. Oh, thymosin. Okay, for thymus, it's. Let's see. Thymosin. I just put it in the chat. It's the hormone necessary for T cell development and production.
That's for the thymus?
Yeah, that we just completed. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Yep. Very good. All right. So parathyroid. It's these 4 balls on the opposites, under the side of the thyroid itself. But it has nothing to do with the thyroid. It is separate. It's a separate gland. very small. Each gland is about the size of a grain of rice. Very, very small. So go ahead and clear the parathyroid to 100%.
Oh my God. My mute off, sorry. I'm getting tired. I'll mute myself.
Oh man, another gland.
You guys are a machine. Okay, I gotta get and I'll come
It's
back.
okay, girl. You're not alone. It's all right.
My brain is mush at this point.
We are not going to get through everything I put on the schedule. I sent you some documents, and it's about wealth clearing. So if you want to look at that tonight, you can do these clearings on your own too. Some interesting information there that I got from John DeMartini. If you're familiar with him at all, very, very intelligent man. And he says, yeah, so first of all, there's going to be some wealth and abundance clearings, and clear for your ability to be a powerful creator and so forth. And that's kind of what we were talking about this morning, Margot. And moving forward, what have you come here to do? Come here to help. So the right permission and ability to live your mastery, your mission, or whatever it is. Ability to step into your full purpose, owning it to support and help others powerfully, connection and inner vision to restore and renew inner vision for divine connection. And then there's a spirit to body connection, ability to maintain 100% of my spirit at all times, both in and out of my body. Yes, that is part of the abundance and whatever, because we need to be 100% in. Many people are 60% embodied at best. So to restore embodiment, you can clear the right to be 100% embodied. And it's on the Word doc, so you don't have to take notes right now. Clearing the ability to live 100% spirit in body, clearing the pre-birth setting for anything less than 100%, a DNA clearing to fully restore spirit to body, and a timeline issues for staying fully in the body. And then clearing suppression, oppressed domination, and control. And I've got a chart on that. I'm going to send you this.
You're talking about.
You're muted, Dia.
Sorry, I was a little overwhelmed there. You're talking about something we can do tonight around money, correct?
Yes, yes. It's the Word doc that says abundance-prosperity. And so there's, yes, and you can chart this all out yourself. This would just, we could do it, but it would just take a long time. And maybe we can do this during a follow-up Zoom meeting too, if you'd like to do the charting of it and clearing it. But I've got a chart for suppression, domination, and control, and I'll send that to everyone. It already is charted out what you can clear. This is a huge, huge, huge one. So Margot, what we were talking about this morning, being suppressed, oppressed, dominated, controlled from past lives and so forth. So some of these can take a long time to clear. Just something to continually be working on. So if you get like, okay, I've only got 8% now and I've been doing this for 2 hours or whatever. I mean, it's possible depending on the amount of suppression or whatever that you need to clear. So I'll send that chart.
Do you have a slideshow around abundance?
I do, yes. And I did I did send it to you. So
Oh, did you? Okay.
well, you know what? I'll pull it up right now while we are in the parathyroid, sending the energy there.
So the parathyroid glands are inside the thyroid glands, but they're small?
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with the thyroid itself. So I'm stop sharing with this one and share this instead. Okay, so there's the spirit to body. This is, yeah, clearing the suppression, oppressed, domination, control, right permission and ability to be free of. And so you can you can chart that out, although I've already charted it out. And then this one, sure why it's right here, but to ability to have wealth, the ability to bring in, sustain, and grow wealth, to have $1 million+ in the bank or more, to bring in 100 or 10,000 plus monthly in a career you love, letting go of suppression, domination, and control. You can change the wording of that and the dollar amounts or whatever you want. Here's some actions to do. Meditate, read, actually create and read your gratitude list every morning. So you should have 10 things on a list of things that you're grateful for. Set specific intentions. And so what you would do here is you would set a very specific intention. So, like it just said right here in the previous clearing, if you wanted to use that, this could be an intention right here, the right permission and ability to have wealth, the ability, blah, 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 right? So you could see that and put this into a balloon or a bubble of some sort, right? So put that in there. You can have several in the same bubble and just write them out and then put them in, and you're holding on to the cord, the tether cord here to this bubble. So you're putting in all the intentions in there, and then you are, you're sending it off with love, right? So you're sending it to source, letting it go. You let it go to source to be fulfilled and delivered. So just intend that you know that this is going to come to you. You're letting it go. You're sending it off to source, and however they do it, they're going to fulfill it for you, right? You can do this every day, right? Clearing wealth set points. Okay, so here you can put in your set points. So read yourself, where are you set for monthly income? You have a set point right now for what your monthly income, what your yearly income, what your net worth is. And that's why some people like, I can't just get past the, I can't get past 5 figures. I can't break the 6-figure mark. Well, maybe because your set point is only, whatever, 90,000 something, right? So find out what they are, and then, then you can actually just amp it up, right? Just intending that you're increasing it to whatever you want it to be. You can also do a chart on this to see what it is that's, okay, so why is my set point stuck there? You can actually go into DNA, you can go into timelines and find out, was there a lifetime that I had issues with money and not being, was I poor, poverty, whatever, and has that affected, my income this lifetime? Also in DNA, same thing, you can ask, is there something in my DNA that's preventing me from earning more than 5 figures? So that's a good one to do. So you get your before number, and then you do the clearings, and then you get your after number, and you can continually increase or improve the numbers, change it as you go. Here, there's a clearing. Okay, so the number 1 blocks to wealth are shame and guilt.
No.
So I put shame, and then I put DNA under it so that you can check your DNA for shame. And then here I have guilt, and then you can check your DNA for guilt and clear that. And then also, while you're looking at it, self-deprecation. That's like you do something you think is a mistake, comparing yours with theirs. You put them on a pedestal, makes you feel unworthy. So is there DNA around that? Then also feeling unworthy to receive. That can be a big one. So altruism compensates for shame and guilt, and it forces you back to center. So if you're like, oh no, I can't take that, right? So that's what that is. And then any DNA around that.
I was also thinking on the frequency chart that the lowest ones are guilt and shame
Ah,
with the wealth. And
Yes, they are. They are one of the lowest. Absolutely. Yep. And it doesn't have to even be around money. It just is those emotions, right? Yeah. Yep. Not good. And who doesn't have or didn't have, that at some point, right? And then so here, list 10 things you're grateful for, and do that on a daily basis. That's your intentions bubble. We just talked about that. Be clear and believable in the present moment as if it already exists. And then this is Dr. John Martini on money and health. So you can read this yourself, but he makes a lot of sense. And self-deprecating, that's where it says that about. But here, 200 things to refine your business. List 200 benefits of refining or polishing or managing your business where it's more effective, efficient, and maximizing profits. Go through every step and prioritize things. This is what he says to do. Yes, it's a long assignment, and then you think 200, my goodness. But he says that when you start, you may have 10 in your head or 10 consciously, but when you start writing, you just kind of start doing the automatic stuff. Things just start coming that you may never even, ever thought of before. And then he goes on, 200 benefits of building a business that serves an ever greater number of people, which is what we may need to be doing. So that could be real beneficial. And then 200 benefits of saving in ever increasing portions of profit, 200 benefits of investing in greater leverage yields and rewards. Here he says unfulfilled highest values equals addictive behaviors. Unfulfilled, so you have a value that's unfulfilled, right? Attract to us to get rich quick or sharks schemes. Dopamine fix, someone tells you what you want to hear. So that, get rich quick stuff. So you get a dopamine rush, right? Yeah, so have to have a desire to build it. So here, write 200 benefits of creating financial cause that leaves a legacy. Yeah, so what's the desire? If you need to find the why behind that, and then that will be the fuel for it. Focus on service and your debt disappears. But when you focus on debts, then service goes away. So don't resent your debts. Thank your investors. The wealthy pay themselves first, then taxes second, then lifestyle third, and business expenses fourth. Others pay their business bills first, and then they get higher taxes. So increase your lifestyle, then increase your savings and taxes too. Use debt only for return on investment, only borrow on things that make more money, that kind of thing. And forced savings. He says minimum amount or 2%, whichever is greater, something will always come in to make that minimum amount. So if you say, I need to have even $100, whatever, a month into savings, and you don't have it, he says something will always come in just because you put that intent out there that you need $100 a month in that account. So somehow it's going to happen. So just ask, what can I save right now for certain, and do it. Do that for 3 months. And then you won't miss it. And then a bigger month, if you had a bigger revenue, then add more to it. Don't ever turn back, just add it to a regular monthly debit, And then when you demand more from yourself, you get a supply. So our problem is we're not demanding enough, or I don't know about you, can't say you for certain, but many people, is we don't demand enough, right? To get a bigger supply. It doesn't matter when do you want to. Age less when you're inspired. Knowing your mission is the secret of mastering your life. So yeah, having that one thing, that burning desire, like Napoleon Hill would call it. So then exactly, you're laser focused on that burning desire. So denying our divinity holds us back from our magnificence. So own the traits of wealthy people. See their traits inside us. See them as equal to us. So nothing is missing in us. This man, yeah, he's like a genius. So that's why I gave you the information. I actually saw him, and those were my notes from his speech that I took. So yeah, so that's in your in your attachments from today. Abundance. Excuse me?
Sorry, I'm talking to my hubby.
Oh, and you know what we did not get to yet is hormones and chemistry. So do you guys want to continue, or do you want to just maybe continue on tomorrow? Or do you want to, like, since you're already clearing the parathyroid, do you want to do the parathyroid tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to do it tonight.
Okay, yeah, so go ahead and just do the, nucleus, membrane, organelles, mitochondria. Go ahead and look at the DNA, the family bubble, DNA resets, DNA of others, light it up.
What does the parathyroid do again?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's for bones, bone density. It's calcium. It controls calcium levels in the blood and in our bones. Yep, and it's produced by a hormone called the parathyroid hormone. So that would be the hormone you're looking at for parathyroid. I'll put that in the chat too. So this would be for chemistry. Yep, so when you get to rebooting chemistry, that's what it is for parathyroid. It's on the slide also. Okay, then continue then with lighting it up, activating the mitochondria, flood of new cell growth, and then count the number of days. I would say let's start in the morning then with ovaries, because I have some other things in here that we can do around female things together. So we can start there in the morning. Now, also another thing that I sent to you is taking your business online. 8 steps to taking your business online, and I'll show that to you here. All right, so, and these are things that you can just read. So step 1, okay, create your attraction plan. Step 2, identify your soul tribe profile. So these are just things that you're gonna take your own notebook and then just write out what you get from what they're requesting here. Step 3, create your tribe attracting message. Design your irresistible freebie and list building funnel. Define your unique visual brand. Here's what somebody told me to do with this, and I thought this was pretty cool. You would make a, Pinterest. You would make a Pinterest board. And you just go in Pinterest, they have all kinds of places. You just put in your subject, just like, okay, so what are the things that are you? I like turquoise, so I just put in turquoise, like the color, and different things come up, like beautiful dresses and rings and all kinds of stuff like that. And you can choose the stuff that you want to add onto your board. I'm from Lemuria, so I've got Lemurian things on mine, anything that visually speaks that's you. I mean, you can look around your office, your home, and you can see, I like shells, or I like, whatever it is, right? So you can make a Pinterest board, and then you can actually give that to a designer if you're having somebody do images for your website or something like that. And they can actually come up with, that's your brand, from everything that you gave them, instead of having them guess, getting something that might not be exactly what you want. Create your own online home base. Okay, yeah, your website. 7, be everywhere online so you can be found. Absolutely. And yeah, offer online trainings. So, and this is something that I offered to Lainey, Janet, and Margot already, is I have press release. You can submit a press release. So I'll offer that to you, to Renee and Dia and Janie. And so if you write up, just going ahead and getting like the information, your message, right? Your create your tribe message, whatever that is. So you've got like words, tick words. So, I mean, it could be like, it could be allergies, you know, like for Janet or whatever. So you're going to attract them, knowing what it is that they're looking for. So doing a keyword search or whatever on Google or whatever. So once you know what these words are and how you want to, you know, write it up, the message to attract the people that are looking for you, then you can write out just a 1-page Word doc, title it, and then just write up something about what you do, and then submit it, give it to me, send it to me, and then I'll submit it. I have a service and they do press releases, and I get so many a month, you know, with what I pay for. And they actually write it they rewrite it essentially. So it doesn't have to be perfect when you turn it in, but just make sure that you've got your words in there and the stuff about you, the stuff about what you specialize in, and then your contact information at the bottom. So if it's a website or a phone number or whatever it is, Facebook page or something, put that on there. If you don't have anything, I do have a full-time web guy. He's been with me about 10 years. We can design a page, you know, web page for you. So at least you would have a landing page for people to go to.
Also, Squarespace. I used to work in New York with cancer patients only, and it was a special program for a hospital. But Squarespace, for someone like me who's totally not technical, I could actually do it, and it's pretty inexpensive to do a landing page and then do some other tabs for pricing and stuff. It's a super easy and very inexpensive, rather than WordPress, which can get pretty pricey.
Yeah.
What is the name?
It's called Squarespace.
You know what? It's on here. It says WordPress, then it says
Oh,
Squarespace.
okay. Sorry.
But yeah, and these are probably in order as far as what you want to do. Now,
is more sophisticated.
WordPress is very sophisticated, but that's what my web guy is a specialist in, and he does coding and all that, you know, custom. These others are great to do them yourself. It's just that for Google to pick them up and search, they're going to pick up another site first before they will Squarespace or Wix or Weebly's site. Just is. That's how it works. So to be found online, the more professional you can have the site, the better, or the more the platform that it's on or built on. Now, I'm not 100% sure about Squarespace. I know Wix and Weebly are not the best because they can have, I don't know, do they make you put their domain name up there instead of having your own?
I mean, the beauty of Squarespace, we were very busy with this project in New York. And what I love about Squarespace, if I wanted to do a blog, I didn't have to call someone or pay someone to put it on. And really, I'm very proud of myself. I can figure out how to do an attachment to an email. I'm really not a techno girl. And even I could like add a new page, put some art design on. That website isn't alive anymore, but because they created something else, and but it was really easy to do. We didn't have a problem with getting exposure. This was a couple of years ago, like 4 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, the ones that you don't want are the ones that will say like weebly.com/you, whoever your name is, right? Because they're not going to pull up you.
No, ours was B Surgery Wise. That was a company.
Okay, so you get to put it on your own domain. Okay, so that's what you want. You want to own your own domain and have your website come up on your own domain. You don't want it to come up on someone else's platform, Wix. .com/anything. That's a subdomain and you don't own it. So
Marlene, could your web guy take, like if I have a Wix account, I have a Wix website all done.
and just copy it. Yeah.
Yeah, could they copy it to a WordPress?
Yeah, absolutely. And then there are YouTube videos that show you how to do easy things on WordPress. So yeah, you might not be able to do some of the, you know, more complicated stuff. And the home page, like if you have the home page and the image there and all that, fine, great. You know, just adding in some content or adding a blog post on there, that's fairly straightforward. You could watch a video and find out how to do that. Or you can even just copy a page, name it something else, so that you have like allergies on one, you have diabetes on another or whatever, just for examples. Then you just go in and edit that new page, so you don't have to recreate anything.
Right, so you have the pages all made ahead, sort of.
Yeah, you can do it that way too. So as long as you have the template there, you know, of a nice page or something, you can just copy it, you know. But yeah, absolutely. And he does that. I tell him, I find a website that I like or something, and I'll say, copy this one, you know, and then here's the, you know, replace this with this, replace that with that, you know, and it looks great. You know, he follows that, not a problem. So yeah. Or even just getting a landing page so that you have, like it says here, your funnel. So you can have people to opt in to that landing page. So like if you have the press release, and see the press release, they send it out to all these places online that are high authority sites. So it gives that that press release a, you know, credibility. So it ranks. And then you can be found for those keywords that you are expert in, right? That you're specializing in. So then when people see it, read it, click through to your site. If you don't have a site, at least have a page, a landing page. So you need a domain name. Go to GoDaddy, buy whatever, www.whatever.com. That's all you need. And then you put up this page. And then the page could have like a opt-in box where people put in their name and email address, and then you send them a, you know, free report or something, a freebie. That's what an irresistible freebie. And then that builds your list. So people that are coming to the website.
And then do you use something like a MailChimp for your email list or something?
Yeah, I don't care for MailChimp, but yeah, they do have a free MailChimp plan. But I heard bad things about MailChimp, that actually they've taken people's accounts down if they don't agree with your content.
What do you use?
I use Infusionsoft.
Oh, okay.
And I have not found anything better. It's $200 a month, okay? So just up front, but it's the best software. I can't find a better software. But there are others now for this. You can get GetResponse.
There's Constant Contact also.
I wouldn't use Constant Contact.
We use that for our town.
Okay, it makes people double opt-in, and there's no other way around it. They can't even get to a thank you page until they go back, find their email that you sent, say, yes, I allow you to flood my inbox with all kinds of emails all month. If they click yes,
that. Huh.
Really?
Well,
wow.
you know, because I'm on the town council here, maybe we got a government version, but it's really smooth as silk, and it's been better for us than MailChimp. I'll ask the mayor tomorrow.
Maybe if they've changed it, maybe they had enough complaints that says, no, that's ridiculous.
We've been using it for about a year. It's been really good.
Okay, they could have. It's been a while since I found that, and I said, no, can't do it.
What was the second one you said, Marlene?
GetResponse.
GetResponse.
There's also Aweber. And then there's private ones, which, like, I've had them added onto my server, and it's like a private autoresponder. I don't pay anybody. It's just on my server. I've done that. But yeah, those are probably the most, but yeah, MailChimp is fine. But make sure though that you, if you have a list build up, that you export it and you keep the list yourself. You've got a spreadsheet or a CVS file of those names and email addresses. So if they were ever to shut the account down, that they don't just go away.
And do you do like a email, whatever you use, and website clearing once a week for you?
Oh, that would be ideal. Yeah, it should be once a week. To clear my Infusionsoft account, you mean? And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and your website, and if it's connected to Facebook, and just, there's a lot of gunk that can get on there energetically. So
Yeah, see, I don't connect mine to social media. But yeah, absolutely, you'd want to, because clearing a social media page is a huge project. I mean, you don't own it, it's Facebook owns it. So, you've got all the people that are looking at it, all the people that your friends or whatever down the side of the page. It's a bigger deal. I mean, yes, you can attempt it and, get so far and remove the stuff that's there, but it seems that it just continues to come back in. So it's much easier to have your own website and to keep that clear. Yeah, but yes, definitely. And then clear your email, your CRM, contact management software system. There's other stuff out there. You can just put in what is the best autoresponder. They call them autoresponders, and they come out with new stuff all the time. I haven't checked lately because I love what I got. And I have tried other things. They have one, Chakra. It used to be Office Autopilot or something, and I did not like it. I did not like it. It's very hard to, the landing pages in there. If you thought WordPress was hard to do, Chakra, yeah. So the top 10 autoresponders and email marketing tools. Just kind of Google it and see what you got. And if you have a question, hey, what is this one? Or just muscle test it. Here they got Aweber #1, they got MailChimp #2, iContact #3, Constant Contact #4. They got Infusionsoft as #5. Oh, but that's only because you have to be a serious marketer running a 6-figure online business or have a list greater than 50,000 subscribers, which I don't. I don't have 50,000 subscribers. Yeah. And then Get Response is #6. Oh, there's one shopping cart. That's kind of an older one.
Marlene, it's Margot. I'm just listening to you. I just get like, and again, this could be my gremlins, but how do you even start? Like, would you say, like, because I have clients that I've worked with, but I haven't saved emails. Like, it's just been so, always for me, something I do on the side alongside my work. So I've always had a constant stream of income through my corporate or my other work.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really sort of seen the need to do any of this. I just kind of do it as a hobby on the side. But to make that jump, how do you, where would you say the best place to start would be? Was just with that one page and just sort of trust that as I put more into it as I go, it would come?
Yes, because you're putting your intent in there, right? You're putting your vision into, this is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And here's another thing you can do with the website is you can actually put your intent. So write it out. And my desire is to attract the ideal, my target customers that are whatever in trauma or something like that, right? Because I recently did that, and then
I added to my horse website all the quantum stuff, like, but just really generally, like I don't have specific pages or anything like that, but it's a place where somebody could see that I do quantum with horses. Do you think that's enough to start? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason that you add more pages to a site is because each one has a meta tag, a title, and you can create tags, page for each keyword. So one would be for horses or equine or whatever, and natural healing with equine or with horses. So then another page, you're going to have another keyword there. So it would be energy healing or whatever.
yeah, because I think that's one of the things I'm running into is I don't want the horse stuff to take away from the quantum. Like some people think, well, God, I don't get horses, or I don't even want to go to the farm. So I want to do a lot online with the quantum, and the horse is just a different stream.
Yeah, so that should be a separate page on the site. So you can have buttons, like on the home page, you could have like 4 squares, click here for horses, click here for whatever, right? And then they would each go to different pages.
So right now they're kind of all together.
Yeah, so that might be confusing to some people. So yeah, so separate out everything onto its own page. And then you get better Google juice, because then you're going to be, each meta tag is a findable item in Google.
Okay.
Yep, as a search phrase. Yeah, so that's why you want multiple pages. It's much better to rank on Google for different things.
And there's a lot of, one of the ways I learned before I went into this New York venture was on Udemy, which I may not be pronouncing that correct, or Coursera. There's some very inexpensive, because I really knew nothing, how to do an online business, and just explaining all these things about how to get seen and how to be at the top. And usually they're like $10 or $12. So you may want to just, and it's someone talking and it's a little video, but I found those helpful.
Yeah.
If you could share that, that'd be great.
So
Yeah,
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, training courses like that. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, they're simple, and if I can do it, you can do it. Seriously. I'm the worst.
Yeah. And then just go and get all of it may take you, a day to do this, but just go in and get all the contact names of people, your clients and customers, put them all on a spreadsheet, open Excel, put, name, first name, email, address, whatever you got, phone number, whatever. And then get them all on a spreadsheet. And then this is what you upload into the Autoresponder for your contact list.
Oh, and then that's on your website? Or
No. It's in your Autoresponder, the software for the emails, to send out emails to people, like the Aweber or the.
Yeah, that would be on your Aweber thing. Or,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but just go through, find all his business cards and whatever, whoever your clients are, and put them all in. And then you can put them into categories too. So like, if this one is definitely horses, then tag it, you want to make sure that that's a separate list, clients interested in horses or whatever it's called, right? Versus another list, clients, whatever it could be, so you can actually, Infusionsoft allows you to tag people with different tags. Like this person might like horses and they might like this, and they might be whatever I put on them. Yeah. So separate lists.
Another thought that's coming to mind, and if you don't want to do all of this online marketing stuff, can you still be successful doing this, do you think? Or
Absolutely, yeah. Because like to go on a talk show or to go on a podcast, people YouTube, be a speaker on different YouTube channels. You just find where go in there and find the ones that have to deal with trauma of whatever type or sort the problems discussion is or whatever. And you contact them, you send them a letter of interest, and it could come from your assistant or whatever, introducing you and what you do, and that you would be feel that you'd would be a perfect one to interview.
Yeah, that resonates more for me. So yeah, just leaning into sort of, I guess, having the conversation is what's available and then leaning into what feels.
Yeah, but when you're being interviewed, they're going to say, you know, where should people go and find out more about you, you know?
Yeah.
Do you have a sample of a letter that you have sent out, Marlene, that we can look at?
I
love to look at
do,
it.
yeah.
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and again, you don't need a website. You just need like a landing page, one page. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be
Right.
just kind of saying your experience and saying what, you know, makes your heart beat fast and really love. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, maybe a couple of little, you know, people's quotes about what happened for them when they worked with you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you can have the press release that we put out for you. You can have on there as seen on, and then all these places that they publish the press release to, you know, PR Web or whatever, you know, they put it out to all kinds of different places online. So that can lend credibility to, you know, that you've been published and whatever, you know, on different sites online, authority sites. So that gives you credibility.
Can you have that one page landing page within your present website that's attached to your website or no?
No,
That first page someone would see putting in your name.
yeah. It is like a home page, just a home page. There's nothing behind it, just a home page. Like,
Okay, so you get it, but could you attach that to your domain, like, and have a different site?
yeah. So, I mean, whatever domain you have, that domain can just be one page, or you can add more pages to it, and then it's a regular, you know, website, right? But like I have landing pages. It's still under my own yourbodypower.com, but it's yourbodypower.com/whatever, you know, program.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I have my website, so but just to make a quantum landing page where it's just a bit glitzy, it doesn't have the horses there. I could do that.
Yes, right, because you can delete the header image. You don't have to include the header image on every page you have.
Okay.
Yeah, and it can start out blank, you know, or start out new topic, new subject, new look.
Yeah, that's what sort of as new topics come out, and then I guess then you're building pages onto your site.
You are, yep, you're building pages on the site that way too.
But you can make those a landing page and direct someone just to those.
Yes. Yep. So if you had it on your press release, it'd be / that landing page. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So it'd be worth it just to have, you know, some type of page. And then that way on Facebook, if you're relying on your Facebook, you know, then you connect your website to your Facebook page. So people are interested, then they can click over to that and contact you, because you don't own any of the contacts on your Facebook page. Facebook does. So if they decide to ever kick somebody off, and they do, they kick people off all the time. And they're saying too now that because of this COVID thing, that they're not putting people in charge of kicking pages off. They are letting the algorithm do it. So that means, it even says there, it means that you may be eliminated just because, and it doesn't even have to be because of terms of service or, you know, whatever they're, you're out of bounds. You don't even have to be out of bounds now. If they say, if the algorithm says you're out, boom, you're out. And no people are in charge anymore of making that judgment. So it's really, it's really gotten biased as far as if they want it, if they like it, boom, you're in. If they don't like you and that subject, boom, you're out, and that's it. So terms of service, yeah. So the thing is that's why you want your own landing page. That's why you want your own AWeber or whatever, to keep your own customers, your database. You got to keep your own names, your own email. Yeah. So get everybody off your Facebook page. You want them on your own platform.
Can you find people's emails on their Facebook page?
No. Used to be able to scrape them, but not anymore.
Okay. But you can go into Instagram. Some people, if you go into their accounts, they have them in their profiles, their emails, don't they?
If
Like
they put it in there, yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Sometimes LinkedIn, maybe even a
And
good.
don't you have to get permission from people before you send them emails?
Essentially, now see, that's the difference between all these autoresponders. Some will not let you upload anything, pretty much, unless it's been already an opted in person.
Yeah, we have to have opted in people in Canada. Like we can't send emails to anyone unless they've opted in.
Yeah, the canned spam or whatever, they got real, yeah, Europe and maybe probably Canada, yeah. So the one way that you can do that is you add a contact in singly. Instead of uploading your whole CVS file or CSV, whatever it is, Excel spreadsheet, instead of uploading all your contact list, you add them in separately. And then they're in there, and then, you know, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's okay if you're starting small or you just have a few, just get them in there that way. And then just add them in one by one as you get new people. Just continually add contacts in there so you don't have to upload them. Infusionsoft is wonderful with uploading my list, and that's, yeah. Others, like, okay, I just, not me personally, but somebody else, like, okay, I just downloaded this list from AWeber, and now they won't let me upload it to whatever, Constant Contact or something. It's like, yeah, that's the way they're getting now, right? So they make you go through hoops. They make you email that whole list and ask them to double opt in, double confirm that they really want to be on your list. So that's a great way of like cutting out 2/3 of your list. But they don't care. All they want to know is that they don't want to have their platform get dinged for having spam or, you know, things going on with all their different subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So
Okay,
there
one
is,
step at a time.
I do have, I want to let you know, I do have a software, it's through a service and I'm paying for it, that I can run a list, I can upload a list into it, and I can send through there. And then the ones that clicked or opened, then I can take those and then upload them into my Infusionsoft or my clean, you know, my clean list, right? I've got that. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in looking at. I'm also able to grab lists from this service. This is the cool part because you can put in, I want women between this age group. You can say income level above whatever. You can even say homeowners or whatever if you wish. Or you can also say you're looking for a particular industry. So maybe they're massage therapists and you want to, or maybe they're in the something to do with horses, you know, or I'm not sure if you can do maybe horse owner or not. I don't know. I'm not sure. That would be interesting to find out.
Yeah.
But I know for sure you can request businesses, emails for businesses, and also residents, you know, regular residential list. So if you wanted to do like in your zip code or something surrounding you for people who would be in person or something like that, you can request it by zip code, city, or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, I might talk to you about that. Yeah, just generating as lists to start with.
Yeah, and then through that with that service, that's why they have that feature where you can just upload that list then into that service, send it out. They know it's going to be a real raw, cold list, right? And there's probably going to be bounces and who knows what. Probably people saying, you know, cancel me off here, you know, opting out and stuff like that. So they know that, but that's okay. That's the way that is. And then you can take the ones that were click-throughs and opens and then just take them and put them into your clean list that way.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So So that's something you can go through yourself then, is the business stuff. Yeah, so we're gonna continue on tomorrow with ovaries. And then go ahead with the abundance and prosperity, wealth, do the set points, do the clearings. You can chart this out for yourself, what comes up for you with, you know, the ability to own my purpose, own my mission, and so forth. So what would be blocking me from that, you know, and then taking the charts and doing the clearings on that stuff. So I'll let you go with that. And yeah, I'm going to send you the chart for suppression, domination, and letter of recommendation to get on shows. Good with this. And then, yeah, so then go ahead tonight and complete the parathyroid. And then we've got hormones and chemistry. Well, we'll look at that in the morning too. So yeah, that would be, that wouldn't probably take as long. But we've got brain tomorrow.
Yay.
Got the brain. And you can tell me too, if after tonight, how you feel with regenerating another area. Because what I was thinking of doing originally is, like if we were going to be meeting in person, I was thinking that we would not do the brain regeneration in person, because that would have been like, you have to travel the next day, or you have to, you know, and you could be a little loopy or something like that. And so I just want to know, how's everybody doing with clearing so much all at one time? So it's possible we can even go through all the different clearings for the brain, which, believe me, there are several. It can take a long time just to do the clearings, because it's different with the brain. There's other things to consider and different things to look at before you can actually go into clearing the brain. So the time chunk of it is the clearings. And so then we could just say, hey, let's put in our first meeting, offline meeting, follow-up Zoom meeting to do the actual brain regeneration, which would be not as time consuming. You know, we'll just have to get ourselves back up, our life force back up to 100% before we start, you know. But that's all we would have to do. And then we could jump into just doing the actual brain regeneration, maybe over a weekend when nobody has to do anything the next day, because it could make you sleepy. And not just sleepy, but it could make you a little goofy or a little daffy or a little brain foggy or confused, some people, because we're in the brain. So it's improving and it goes away. It's just usually just for, you know, the first day for sure, but maybe up to 72 hours. I did this, I was in out of state. I was in a different city. I didn't have a car. This was weird. Okay, I did not have a car. I didn't rent a car. But probably a good thing I didn't. I'll tell you what happened. I was meeting my cousin afterwards, and I got there. Okay, I got done with the regeneration, and then I find myself with my luggage standing, waiting for a ferry in San Francisco from Marin over to the Bay. Okay, over to, you know, San Francisco. I was like totally confused. Okay, oh my God, you know, how do I get over there? So I made it, got the ferry over there, got a cab, and then the cab took me to my hotel. That was a freaking, I don't know how I did that, but I was like, you know, normally it would have been no big deal, right? I could do that. I'm sure I could do that just out of the blue, even though I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing, I could do it. You know, looking at the charts or whatever, but just looking at the charts were just like overwhelming to me. And then so I'm there, my cousin, she gets in, it's maybe like 10 o'clock at night. And so the next day, her and I, we take a cable car downtown, right? So we're more by the wharf and stuff, piers. and then we take a cable car downtown, and then we wound up taking a cable car back to where we thought we were. And she had a car, right? And so we'd parked somewhere. We were down, you know, by the, yeah, I don't know why we did that, but we did. To park close to where we thought the cable car was gonna be. And we took it, we came back, and we couldn't find her car. We were walking, you know, that Lombard, whatever it goes, that crazy. We walked that one up. I mean, the hours and hours we spent looking for her car. I'm going, I don't like this city. We're going up those hills, down the hills, over and across and stuff. And I'm like, why can't we find the car? And she's pointing, is that it? I go, Carol, your car did not leap from the left side over to the right side. I mean, I know it was like 2 cars back on the right side from the stop sign. It didn't leap from over there to over. And we're like, we hired a cab, you know, having a cab take us around looking for her car. And of course, then we run into traffic and we're sitting in the cab going, well, let us out, you know. And so then I'm like, okay, let's go rent a car. All right, so we go and rent a car. The guy thought he was doing us a huge favor, and he's giving us a Mustang with the convertible for the same price as what we ordered or something. And we're like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. And so we get in the car, she drives, we get out of the driveway, she goes up 1 block, takes a right, goes to the end of the block, and it's like, there's your car. So we're sitting there peeing our pants, going, I mean, this is hours later, right? We're just about fit to be tied. We're just giddy, and I'm going like, duh. You know, I should not have been losing cars, right? I mean, I would normally be the responsible one in the party, but I wasn't. She was, and that's normally not the case. But anyway, so she got into her car. I took the rental car. She followed me back. We brought it back up, and I put the keys on the desk. The guy goes, what's the matter? Something wrong with the car? We're like, no, we're done. And we're just like being at this guy less than a half an hour and about 1.5 miles on the vehicle. We're done. And we're just like, the guy's face, it was like priceless. Just he didn't know what to think, you know. He thought he was doing us a good favor, the upgrade and all this beautiful car. And yeah, so we come out of there, and we both got in her car, and we couldn't even move for a while. We were laughing and crying, and it's like, okay, I'm hungry. I know I'm hungry. She's hungry, but no, let's just go back to the hotel. We just got to regroup. I can't do this. We just got to go back to the hotel. And we did. And from that point, it's like, I think we ordered something in, and that should never have happened, right? So I'm just saying that if we do the brain regeneration, do you have something going on Tuesday that you need to be fully there for, right? So just think about it overnight and let me know. But we can do the actual regeneration, set up another time and do it then too. So I don't mind, it doesn't matter. So and it can be just a separate time, like if we all have a Saturday or something like that in the next week or so, you can check. But let me know how that feels, and when you're done with because maybe we can do the brains of the glands of the brain tomorrow. So that's the hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal, and that would be a little different than the actual brain regeneration itself. So so maybe that's what we'll do, and that kind of sounds like, I'm feeling that's maybe what we should do, really, because I don't want all too much going on at the same time, and you got a lot of detoxing, and yeah. So anyway, yeah, my husband won't, never let me down for that. Take a picture next time where, the intersection you're on. Yeah, that would have been the thing to do, right? Yeah. That's what I've been thinking. Yeah.
Can you remind me what the assignment is for tonight?
Well, you can go through the abundance and prosperity slides, and then just do the exercises in there, and also the clearings. There's clearings in there. So just go read through it. There's also a Word doc, and it does the same thing. So you can actually type on the Word doc your set points, your before set points, and do the clearing and then the after. If you have questions about it, anything, tomorrow we'll spend a few minutes and go over that.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And then, of course, finish off the parathyroid. So right now we were just sending gold into the whole parathyroid, but now it's securing the master cell and going in and doing the rest of the regeneration for that. So then we'll go into the ovaries and complete the glands. So let's call her good here and regroup again, same time, same back channel. And any questions, just let me know in the morning then, okay?
Okay, night, thank you.
All right, yep, absolutely. My pleasure, you guys.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Right.
See you in the morning.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.